Welcome back to MMA Al Dente. I'm here to talk about Marcus McGhee versus Gaston Bolanos. Oh yeah, I am the guy who picked Phil Hawes to defeat Roman Dolidze. All right. Marcus McGhee is 33 years old. He's 8-1 as a pro, and he's got 1 inch of height and the same reach as 31-year-old Bolanos, who is 7-3 as a pro. Marcus McGhee, he's got 7 knockouts and his 8 wins, just 1 by submission. Guy's a really good striker, very comfortable on the feet once he gets going. He's athletic, and he controls the fight at long range because he's great at closing the distance. And he's definitely got way above average power for someone his size, and we've already seen that produce results at the UFC level. He's now 2-0 in the UFC, even though one of those wins was by submission. He got his only submission over Journey Newsom, who's a black belt fighting at the UFC level. And that is very impressive, even though he'd kind of won the fight with his striking already. But after that, he knocked out J.P. Bays, and that was an expected result, but it was good to see Marcus McGhee deliver on the promise at the UFC level. His 1 loss comes by submission to Rafael Nascimento, or Rafael Musala or something. The guy seems to be a really good grappler, and he was able to take Marcus down after 2 minutes and secure his back and choke him out. Remains to be seen where that guy goes MMA-wise, but he's no scrub, I'll say that. And here Marcus is fighting Gaston Bolanos, who is a Muay Thai fighter. This guy has a record of 7-3 as an MMA fighter, but he has an extensive Muay Thai career. I believe it's 29-3. I tried to look up his losses, see them, if not read them, and I still wasn't able to do either. So I don't know if he was knocked out at all. But regardless, he's an exceptional striker. He has 7 wins, as I said, 6 of them coming by knockout in MMA, and just 1 by decision. And the 1 decision was in the UFC to Aaron Phillips, which was a really, really close fight, but Gaston Bolanos was able to walk away with a tight victory, probably winning rounds 1 and 2, but still, very close fight overall. And his best win comes, his most impressive highlight comes over Rick Gutierrez in Bellator. Not that that guy's a good fighter at all, but it's the way he knocked him out, which was with his signature move, a spinning back elbow, knocked the guy dead. Just beautifully timed, and it was after the guy kind of rushed him at the bell, really kind of cheap-shotting him in the beginning of the fight, and Gaston Bolanos got the highlight of his career with a beautiful knockout. His 3 losses I have seen. He's got 2 by submission, 1 by decision. He was submitted by Daniel Carey, this Bellator fighter, good fighter, with a technical guillotine choke. He ended up avenging that loss in just a few years ago before he got into the UFC. And got him out of there with a TKO in round 1. And he lost by a technical triangle choke to Brendan LaRocco. Both of those submission losses are technical submissions, which means he did not tap and he went unconscious. I don't know if that would be the case if he was in an armbar or something. He might tap then. But faced with chokes, this guy has proven to be very fucking tough and really gritty. You can prove that even in a defeat. And he kind of proved that in his other defeat against Solo Hatley Jr. That was a split decision. Chris Solo Hatley was able to out-wrestle him and control him on the ground for the first 2 rounds, but Gaston Bolanos kept himself safe, and then in round 3 was largely able to keep the fight standing and really took it to Solo Hatley in round 3. So despite clearly losing the fight, it was a good look for him as a young fighter, an MMA fighter anyway. But here, look, and by the way, I should mention, Gaston Bolanos was rock silly before getting triangle choked by Brendan LaRocco. He was hit with a spinning back kick or wheel kick or whatever the fuck, the one that Barboza landed on Terry Edom. That kick, that's what he ate, and he was doing the Fedor fish dance, but he did not go out. So to eat a strike like that and not go out gives me faith in your chin. Of course, having eaten that strike probably only makes your chin weaker. So there's that too. But here in this fight, I kind of I'm siding with Gaston Bolanos. He's a big underdog, but I think this is a potentially favorable matchup for him. I don't think Marcus McGhee is the type of fighter to exploit Gaston Bolanos' weakness on the ground, like Solo Hadley did, or even Aaron Phillips or anybody else. I think he'd be wise to try to, but even if that's the game plan, and I kind of hope it is for Marcus's sake, he's not practiced in implementing such a game plan. And Gaston Bolanos, since he's been fighting MMA, has been fighting to resist that game plan anyway. So I don't think Marcus McGhee is the type of fighter to exploit the weaknesses of Gaston Bolanos. I think in general he's going to have to go through his strength. And Gaston Bolanos, again, I've seen him rocked and I've seen him pressured and whatever, but the guy is a very good striker, really good in tight. I think he would have to make this Muay Thai battle by chopping at those legs and some well-timed attacks as Marcus comes in, because Marcus is going to be the faster fighter on the outside looking to do his thing. But if Gaston Bolanos can slow him down, chew him up a little bit, I think in the end he would definitely be winning a striking battle. So Gaston Bolanos is my pick, and certainly my bet. He's only won one decision. It was against Aaron Phillips. Generally, he gets it done by knockout, but I could see him getting it done either way. I'll wait to see what the props look like, but right now, with plus 210 staring at me, I think it's worth a bet, certainly. I think Marcus McGhee has a higher ceiling as an MMA fighter. I think if both these guys fought the same sample of 10 different fighters in their division at the UFC level, Marcus McGhee would do better by being able to keep the fight standing and maybe even be more dangerous on the feet. But here, I think this is kind of like a case of Slava Claus versus Nazim Sadikov, even though that fight was a draw, so I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But I think it's a potentially favorable matchup for the pure striker here. So I'm going with Gaston Bolanos. Like, share, subscribe, all that horse shit, and check out my other videos. And don't forget to come back and let me know what a fucking idiot I am when I get this fight wrong.